Hello and welcome. My name is Sheep Thief, and today I'll be coming at you with a Age of Mythology 1v1 replay gameplay multiplayer PvP analysis. Today I'm playing Poseidon against someone named Gannic who's playing Freyr. So, I'm still getting used to these non-Loki gods. And, so... yeah, we're going to do an analysis. So I'm kind of playing around with whether or not I do a analysis from just my perspective or from both perspectives. The last one I did was from just my perspective. So we'll do it both. We'll do it revealed this time. So my opponent's playing Freyr, definitely a defensive hero or god. He's going for one ox cart right here, which is pretty inefficient. I would actually shift it over to the giraffes and make the dwarf walk. Over here we've got our giraffes being built. We go for a little bit of wood, and I believe we try to go for the pickaxe. Yeah, this is inefficient for him. I don't get many goats this time. But yeah, this is pretty inefficient for him. I think he's definitely not making up resources here at all. Yeah, so he gets pickaxe. You know what, we're just gonna do it from my perspective. So I'm scouting out, trying to get my goats. Once I get enough for the temple, I just shift totally off of the gold and go for a quick temple. And I get these villagers worshipping. I'm kind of deciding between whether or not to go with Hermes or Ares. The Norse, of course, can get out Hersers that are going to be good against the Cyclops, but they also don't, in my opinion, have an amazing answer to Toxotes. Raiding cavalry is cheap and good, but it'll keep him in the classical age, which is what I want. I start going up with Ares, and then there's just kind of some organization that needs to happen. So I've got a bunch of villagers on food, maybe a little too much, definitely a little too much. Getting back onto the wood, just wanting to have enough for a stable and some houses. I think I'm almost housed. Yeah, almost housed. Need a lot more gold. I'm having trouble keeping track of who's who here. So this is me, and this is him. Okay. Yes. So yeah, definitely almost housed, and a little low on gold and wood. We do have to pay 100 wood for, or maybe 50 wood for this. And then we get up and somehow get a house up. Where did that house go? I guess that house completes. So we're not totally housed yet. We have our Cyclops moving forward, and this time something I switched up is I'm not going for Theseus and instead going for Atalanta right away. Sort of right away. Maybe not right away. Stable starts to go up, followed up by a house. Atalanta comes. So a little late on that, but she's coming. He's ahead by a villager. We ought to catch up somewhat. As a matter of fact, we may be ahead. Ever so slightly ahead. Atalanta comes out. Hippeus gets trained, and I'm really just trying to see what's going on. I scout out with the scout, and I'm actually pretty pleased with my scouting. We'll compare it to his really quick. Yeah, scouting definitely stronger. Over here, the draugrs over there takes a shot at the Cyclops. Gets some nice hits onto the scout, and then Cursors arrive just in time to chase my Cyclops away. We start going on him with Atalanta here. Scout having a hard time. Cyclops continues to move forward, and he backs off. I actually think he could have chased right there. Another Hippeus coming up, and first archery range. I use lure to get these chickens, but my economy requires some management right here. I see him using the Asgardian fortress thing, which displeases me greatly, and endeavor to go forward. He goes for watchtowers too, so this is a big investment for him. We're ahead by about a ville. He's got this fortress right here, and I start wailing away on it with the Cyclops and start trying to fight this one pulls out. Actually, did I do that? If I did that, I was getting micro. Cyclops is wailing away, and then we get the draugr down with Atalanta. He finally gets his cursor over onto the Cyclops, and I decided to just finish off the Cyclops and pull off and get this Hippeus that just got trained into the fight. Atalanta being a, you know, literal demigoddess, I think, right? Where is she? No, she's just a heroine. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely my favorite hero right now. Cyclops looking a little worse for wear, but we did, I think, exchange well in that fight. We've got another Cyclops coming in, and the Toxart spam is beginning. I'm liking how I'm spending my resources here, although I suspect there's some idols here. We got a lucky elephant here. Very nice. Fixing some house issues, and I think what I'm missing here is an armory. I think that would, like, upgrading this army that I'm replenishing would be strong, although it does need to be replenished, so I go for pickaxe instead. Maybe a little late. I'm not sure if I should have done that earlier. And we start taking another fight here. Atalanta goes down to the Cursors, and the Hippeus start trading health right here, which is strong for us. Some herdmen come out to counter the Hippeus. One Hippeus goes down, another one. Cursor goes down, and now the Cyclops can do its thing. But all of our Hippeus go down, which was not a good, like, not amazing micro right there, but we did clear up that force, which allowed us to kind of, I don't know, taking that trade felt pretty strong. You can see here that our bars are in pretty good shape, so our military, our army is bigger. We're ahead by a ville. And then I guess just resources collected somehow are stronger for us. Getting the heroes out, I don't quite understand. Is there a better way to do this? Like, I can't train them. You can only train them from the TC, and it's really hard to find where they end up going. The villagers seem to have a hard time with the chickens, but I right their wrongs. What I'm a little unclear on... Oh, it looks like my opponent's housed. What's this do? Improves the movement speed of longhouse units. So that's going to be strong against cavalry, but yeah, I'm not really going for an all-in on cavalry, although I do think another stable here could have been strong. So we're full in on the heroes, which will provide a significant amount of tank as well as anti-draugr-ness. Some Hippeus going around the corner to go fight, and as you can see, maybe the timing on here was slightly off, because just having, you know, I don't know, and then we're missing that Hippeus. Yeah, so something feels a little off about this. Villagers going down. We get our Cyclopses on this armory. Maybe not the most important target, but we also get over here on some villagers, which will be strong. So we get one villager kill. 2 villager kills. We're 4 vills ahead now, and we're starting to go for this. But there's an army coming out of the darkness here. We're gonna end up getting 2 more villager kills, but I'm not paying attention as I'm microing this. And then the raiding cavalry is getting some nice hits off of there that really shouldn't be happening. The Cyclops should be able to kill those things. My attention span was really consumed by that. We get a nice 5 villager lead here, but he is on 2 TC, so that's gonna catch up. And this is definitely a gnarlier fight. Both Cyclopses are down. Raiding cavalry gets onto the Toxote, so now it's up to Theseus and some cavalry to fight against a couple of... no, just one herdman. Herdman goes down, so now this isn't too bad. And we kill off the throwing axeman and one more hearser. And at this point I pull back. So again, I think we took the trade well there. Our army did remain more intact than his. But what I'm missing here, finally I'm getting some upgrades. I think if I pushed that 10 seconds earlier, and if I'd microed the Cyclops a little better, would have been good. You can see he's already caught up on villagers, so that advantage that we're building is not, that we had, isn't lasting for very long. A little bit too much gold, and I'm starting to run out of resources in my base. I pull over here to go for this gold mine, but the main scary thing is this lack of food. I use lure again. I'm a little unclear on how this thing works. It seems to do something. Another thing is I'm not staying up to date with my heroes, and then I walk into this blob of draugrs, which are, I guess, upgraded draugrs, which seem pretty strong. This took away a third of this unit, this sort of formation's health right there with a single burst. And he pulls ahead in the villager lead with his 2 TCs, getting my heroes out and trying to fix my economy. Another thing that I really need to do is this. That would have been huge. I need to remember to use this. I forgot to use it. So, not... yeah. I need to... I did not use that god power, so I gotta use this. Getting on the goat. Atalanta's sitting here, doing nothing. Probing a little bit with the cavalry, take another barrage from these things. What's a revenant draugr? So it seems strong. And again, I'm letting him kind of get away with stuff. We've got our army is 3 times stronger than him, but he's done a good job of walling and making this difficult. We go up with Aphrodite because when I see the walls, I'm like, alright, he's definitely got a TC over there. And we need to keep the pressure up. Move in with the... so like right here would be not a bad time to do Pestilence. And I get the upgrade for Cyclops for some reason, even though I don't have any Cyclops. Decided to try to take over, or take down this tower, but he really doesn't like that, and he uses Golan Bursty, and the boar chases after me. So, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it is faster than a... No, as a matter of fact, it's very slow. How does this work? His power and speed wanes further, so we... yeah, he's strong over there. He actually gets a hit pace. And my opponent pulls ahead and score here, so I'm starting to feel the pain, but I've got a Nemean lion and a couple of, or at least one Cyclops, and I've got 2 Cyclops on the way, and I'm wondering how to spend my resources. At this point it would be nice to have 2 stables, because I don't have to pay it to be at the end of the world. Cyclops comes in here and picks off raiding cavalry, and all of our cavalry goes down in short order, really fast. Over here, Cyclops once again. Taking a, we clear up a bunch of infantry right there. Atalanta made a bunch of space for us, but I'm not very happy. He is going up. Need to get our heroes back for these draugrs. Villagers are running out of food. We find this food over here kind of as out of luck from running away from the boar. Definitely scouting out here would have been good, because there's not much food left on the map. There's a rhinoceros over there, which in retrospect I haven't seen. I suspect there might be food over here. Let's see. Nope, not at all. So let's just look at that again. There was food. There really wasn't food over here. There's a rhino. What's this in here? I see something on the map there. So yeah, maybe on this map time to start thinking about farms. But I'm floating a ton of resources and start to wonder whether or not what to do here. I go for he hadn't gotten up to the heroic age yet, so I thought, well, it's time to make a fortress, but he does go up, and now I'm worried. And one thing I want to see is, do you see this? He completely sees this. Okay. So I was a little too greedy there. He starts interfering, and the Toxotes have a good position here, but the Cyclops don't. They're walking to a bunch of which does take out a lot of stuff. The Cyclops get onto the back line, but they're really preoccupied with his rock roll. He pops this Tempest, starts doing a lot of damage to stuff in here. And the Neon Lion is trying its darndest, but the draugrs back here have just been having the time of their lives. Over here we still got 35 seconds before that fort is going to go up. And the reinforcements are coming in for him. And now I'm pretty unhappy with this. We've got 6 seconds left on the fortress. 3, 2, 1, 0. The fortress goes up at great cost. Pulls ahead 5,000 in score. Fortress is pretty damaged. And he gets under it. I'm actually not quite sure where I'm supposed to research boiling oil. We gotta throw an axeman for his head. Not worth it. But it is getting kills, especially on these Goaty over here, but this will eventually go down. I'm trying to get anything involved in this fight that I can. While my economy is not doing amazing, but not terribly. And you can see the army and resources are very much in his favor. Getting some much needed upgrades, and the Green Axeman coming in with 2 rock giants. Can't believe how much favor he has. Start trying to repair it, and see things starting to creep back. We got this Hippolyta trying to take out some of these rock giants. Slowly chipping away at that rock giant's health, and the villagers are knocking them off. Maybe some space being made, but I almost forgot about this ability of Poseidon's, which is that these militia pop out, cause a bunch of trouble, helping us clear up some of these reinforcements that are streaming in. Numerous kills here that I don't know if it wasn't as much as a fortress, but strong. Finally get some production up, but I actually decided to click for Artemis, and I'm almost up with that already, which will help me clear out this in here. I chose Earthquake. Well, I mean, Hephaestus the plenty vault might have helped me catch up economically, but after that fight, I thought, you know, I need to get an advantage and then push in with earthquake. You can see that I have caught up in terms of army and resources pretty quickly, if I may say. So I think my production is there. He goes for a ton of eco upgrades, a bunch of berserks. What's this? Feasts of Renown. Okay, so he's going for a big boom in the heroic age, and we decide to do earthquake push with all of these units, and I just go into his base sensing a moment here. Often there's like a shock when someone goes mythic age, and I go for a big earthquake kind of in the middle here, just trying to open stuff up. Over here the draugrs attack. We've got finally upgraded cavalry onto the throwing axes. Militia do a great job of defending our toxotes. Over here, you can see how the draugrs died right there. We somehow got them. I think it was just Atalanta got on top of it. Over here, he's got units coming in, and it's really close. We've got the rock giant goes down, frees up a lot of DPS from these toxotes, and the cyclops get on top of the backline of these throwing axes. They're doing a great job of killing those Olsacs off. I don't know if you remember that. Chimera's strong. Over here, we've got the cavalry onto the backline, and there is a moment for us here where I'm feeling strong, and he surrenders, which is like so lucky for us because we did not have any food income, and our only siege was really these cyclops, and I don't know if we would have had what it takes to break through this. He still had a decent amount of production. We might have sort of passively cleaned that up. I think the question is whether or not I would have pulled back at this point. He had a ton of resources that he needed to spend, and still a decent amount of production. Like, he could have made a ton of herdmen and a ton of Hussars or Godi or even just raiding cavalry. I really didn't have any anti-cav. Yeah, I think if he just made raiding cavalry, this would have been cleared up, and he would have been... Oh wait, no, I got Golden Wood confused there. So maybe he didn't have a good way to make a ton of units. I still think it was a premature resignation there. But the Chimera was about to go down. We did have a bunch of full Cyclopses here, but he had Godi coming in. I don't know. I just sort of think he did that a little too early. I was having to transition to farms right then, so I was about to get a nasty hit to my economy. I guess he was out of gold. This is almost gone, and he was on farms. So, I would say neither of us were in a perfect position. Maybe I was ahead. I'm not really sure. But I think all I know is that if I'd waited another like 30 seconds before going in right there, he would not have. I would have not won that fight, and he would have definitely not surrendered. So, kind of a lucky win for me, but I think I gambled and it paid off, and that's always good. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.